Hi everyone, I wanted to do a quick video just to show you how to build a Ubuntu machine and a Kali box just to the desktop, and then also get it to the point where it's updating and ready to use, whether it's for a server or a CTF for example. So what I've done is I've downloaded the ISO straight from the home page, so literally just clicked on these and downloaded the core ISO straight from the Ubuntu website, and then I've gone on to the Kali website, kali.org. Links are in the GitHub repository, and I've downloaded the sort of VM version, which comes as an OVA file. Comes in a 7-zip, and then I've unzipped it. So here I am. I'm at the stage where I have my two boxes. I've got my Kali box, which received initially as a 7-zip, which I unzipped, and I've got my Ubuntu box. So it's basically a little bit of virtualization we're going to be doing now. So just going to load up VMware Workstation Pro, or you can be using your just your workstation that you can download for free. I'm going to quickly set these boxes up to go. So add new machine, and with these I should be able to add the ISO in at the beginning. So typical install, install ISO image. If I click, just use the link from up here quickly. Ooh. And I'm running it directly off my C drive, which I normally run it off a little hard drive, but browse and then select VMs. I'll build my Ubuntu client first because I destroyed it in my last video. Cool, so that should detect, that's detected as an Ubuntu machine, full name. And this may even build it to the point of the desktop, and I just like to keep it all in the same folder, so I'm just sort of quickly building it. Ubuntu, make sure actually it's in the area that I wanted to, not generically in my documents area. Ubuntu box, just to know that I've actually controlled the name. 20 gig, yeah, that's fine. Cool. Power on after creation, so that'll get to the point of building, so that should start progressing now, turning on, and then I'll just quickly build my Kali box in the background while that's booting up. Typical browse, and it should be located near. We can see the folders and files populating for the Ubuntu box. I'll do my Kali box, so it's looking for an ISO, which I don't have because I've downloaded it as a OVA file, so I'll quickly load the OVA file. Or it's straight through to VMX, actually, not OVA, so I can delete that now. The 7-zip, and run this. Cancel that. So I've got this box, and see what state this is in. So the default creds for this will be Kali and Kali straight off the website, and default creds for this should be defined either during my wizard build process, or my should go to desktop, so it might be root and TWR. So this is the latest version of Ubuntu. It's the LTS version. Cool, so these are booting. When it gets to the stage of where it's all settled, I'll come back. So you can see my Ubuntu box is at the setup menu, so I'm just going to configure it for my local area. Making sure that I do select sort of UK keyboard layout, because the @ sign generally sort of does change between US and UK. Download updates, I'm going to untick that just because I want to show you how to do it through the command line. Third-party software, graphics, might tick that because that'll look, and normally I'll tick that to download, but I'm going to show you as part of the build process anyway, just how to do the upgrade and the update in a one-liner as well, with the double ampersand in the command line. So that's, you can see that's just got bigger because that's actually installed VM tools at the same time. We have to install. It's quite a clicky process, the build process for this. Continue. London, and as it's installing, this is where we do various sort of setup bits. Cool. This didn't configure as a part of the menu, so I'm just gonna, I like to have user and magical. I'm going to require a login, then continue. Cool, so that's going to be building, and we'll leave that to run in the background. That'll probably take about 20 minutes, I'd say. So back to my Kali box. That one is, oh, that one's built straight to the desktop. Now let's have a little look, see where we're at. So this should go in. This already had a lot of files with it, and this is the latest version. You can change the desktop if you're that way inclined, but what I'm going to do straight away is just get it updated. It's easier. It should already be connected, so, and it's been given a DHCP IP address for VMware, and it can ping the internet, so that's a good check. So now, if I just make this nice and big for you to see, if I just preferences, and preferences, make the text a lot bigger, change, I think I did it. Let's do it at 25, it's always good at 25. There we go, that's very clear to see. So now I'm just going to go, so sudo, because I need to be with root privilege, apt, and it's get update, and you can do ampersand, no correction, just the double at, and do -y at the end, so Kali, and that should be installing all the updates now. So that's just a very quick process of doing updates and upgrades. So that's both software and your sort of OS kernel level patching. So that's already built and straight to the desktop and getting updated. This is still in the process, so the Ubuntu's almost finished now and getting to the desktop. We can change the host name on this. I'm not going to do while it's updating, but I would look at changing the host name of this. So I'm just going to, if we go, click new, and then go to cat etc host names. We can see our host name is Kali. That's a really big signature. That identifies what we are. So I can change that. If I go sudo by etc host names, I need to be root privileged to do this. I'm going to quickly change the name to, oh, I've got to go I for insert, or I can go and then type whatever you want to call it, and then go escape, and to save it, it's colon WQ, all lowercase, read only, even though I'm root. Right, let's see what the score is. So I've got escape from here, sudo vi etc host names. Set add to overwrite. Cool. And so that name doesn't take effect until we reboot, which I will not reboot because it looks like, oh, there's root, yes. Let's try it again. Let's try it individually. Get update, and it'll ask me to, I didn't do spaceman's Y, so it'll ask me to go in and upgrade, and yes, there we go. So that's upgrading now as well. Cool. You can see that's a lot more AMD orientated thing, so that's the sort of playing at the kernel level and the sort of motherboard. Cool. In the processor. Let's see how my Ubuntu box is doing. Still installing, happy days, and my Kali box is getting updated. I'll come back once the update is finished and my Ubuntu box is finished installing. So it's asked me to restart, so I'm just going to quickly restart after the install, and then it'll probably come and ask me to remove the install media, but as a part of the reboot should do that automatically, so I'm just going to double check. So yes, it's unselected the, I'm going to deselect that in a sec when it asks me to. I'll deselect the ISO. So while that's rebooting, my Kali box is still upgrading. It's been about sort of nearly 10 minutes now, and we're good to go. So I should be able to log in. We're in on that, and I'm going to run the exact same. I'm going to try upgrade then update first. I'm going to test connectivity to the internet, then run upgrade. So I'm just going to skip all of this because I'm going to do it manually. Send system diagnostics. Nope. Don't want location services on. This is what you can install, but I'm just going to go open terminal here, so it's onto the desktop. Change preferences just to big text so everyone can see it. Preferences, it was 25. Named custom. I'm going to go with 25 because that's what we selected for the Kali box. Cool. So now that should be nice and clear. I'm going to do sudo apt-get upgrade and update. Whoop, not and. And hopefully this should work. No, I'm trying to do it through. That's asked me, do I want to update? And I'm trying to do it via command line. So, I even did -y. But there you go. So it's now installing the updates and upgrades. So they're both to the desktop and both updating. Cool. I can change the name of the Ubuntu box through the host names file, and I can also edit the DNS if there's anything else. And I can even check comms between them quickly. So if I did want to sort of run nmap from the Kali box on the Ubuntu, just to sort of start that recon phase. So IPA, checking IP address. So I've got a 192.168, and what's the Kali box is. Let's bring up another terminal window. Oh. So that's finished its upgrade. 158 and 159. Cool, and they can talk to each other. Brilliant. So that's me built two boxes. That's me built a Linux box or Ubuntu and a Kali box to the desktop. Thanks very much for watching. Hope that includes sort of all the detail that you need to get started straight from downloading off the relevant websites, and also the links for these websites. The Ubuntu and the Kali are in the GitHub repo, so get them off there. So now that we've got it updated, I'm going to just prove an SSH connection from Putty and show you some of the sort of softwares that we can interact with our boxes. So a big thing is you might need to install OpenSSH. So if I do sudo apt install OpenSSH server, which then allows it to have SSH connections into it. So I've just installed that. Then from the outside, if I can start the service. So system ctl sudo, and then start SSH service, and then from the outside, if I just sort of open up command prompt and ping 192.168.160. And it was 159, so I can ping it, and then I've got Putty up, so if I just go Putty and type in the same IP address here, 192.168.160.158, and open, and it should be generating the keys. I'll just try that again. Always good to Putty 192.168.160.59. That's why 158 was the Ubuntu machine, which I've just shut down. So that's agreeing on the keys, and then we go Kali and that's us in. So that's us SSH'd into the box. Obviously it looks a little bit different because we're currently using a different shell than the Ubuntu, which the shell for Ubuntu will be Bash. This one is, let me just show you. So if I go LL, we can see we're currently using ZSH shell. So that RC is basically the shell that we're using. It's quite similar, quite forgiving as well, but comes with some more features other than different to Bash. So if you're Bash scripting, obviously make sure that it's compatible with ZSH shell. Cool. So that's been connected in via Putty. There's a bit of a MobaXterm is a really good bit of software, I find. So I've got a free version of it, which I'm using. I'll select dark, and then I'll start a session. So I'm going to SSH in. This allows for sort of file transfers as well, so SFTP some files between, so we can download and upload files. So instead of doing it straight to the VM, if it's a real machine, you can remote into it. So 192.168.158.159 even, specify name, and when I reconnect as well, this will also remember the name as well, so this should connect. Remember the name, so we can then later, we're giving it a bit of a password manager. Cool, and we're in. So it's pretty clever, and we can have multiple windows as well open, and also we can drag and drop things. So that's doing SFTP, which runs over SSH in the background. So we can drag and drop files into it, or even if it's part of a pen test or anything, we can pull machines, we can pull reports, Nmap sort of write-ups, or any outputs of any Nmaps we've run or anything like that. So it's really good bit of software, this MobaXterm, and sort of that's really good for pen testing as an authority. But if I'm doing a CTF, I like to run my Windows a little bit different. So I'm just going to click X on that. So if I've created an open VPN connection to a box or something, and I'm running a CTF, and I've got a bigger screen, so this is only running on the core laptop screen at the minute, I like to split my windows down. It's a little bit harder with the vertical, a little bit harder with this one, but I like to have 4 windows open, so I can do IPA first, I can do Nmap on here. I would never run it against myself, but I'd run Nmap against a target, so I've got SH open, which is good, and then IPA down here, I might have Derb going against the web server on that one, whatever the CTF involves. So that's sort of how I would split my screen there, but obviously a lot bigger and wouldn't have as such bigger text. So you can use it really effectively, just the one machine, or you can remote connect into it and sort of use your host machine. As well as that, you sort of Visual Studio Code can connect into different machines as well. So if you are writing scripts, you can upload and download from remote desktop. So if it's a Python script or anything like that, we're good to go. So one of the videos I'm going to be doing, I've already covered the basics of some of the commands. I've covered some additional commands from this, just about installing upgrades and things like that. But my next video is going to be advanced commands for Linux. Thanks very much for watching.